Welcome to the cottage. Leave me a little message in the chat and say hi while I jam for a moment.
Clank, clank. What's up, Michael? Hi, everybody. Welcome to a really good reason for me to enjoy Monday nights. How you guys doing? What's up, Michael? Hi, Gail. And howdy to everybody else out there right now. If you have not been here before, whoa, let me just change this just a little. Yeah. If you haven't been here before, I like to sit here and jam along to jam tracks and talk about progressions and guitar and whatever, and chat with you guys and try to catch up. Big week for me, man. I'm really excited for tonight. Of course, I've been loving these Monday nights. I love this escape. I should try to get louder. I love this escape. I love hanging out with you guys. I get that feeling like I used to get before a show. Hey, Pops. Hi, Juliet. Hey, B. Hi, Byron. How you guys doing? I get that feeling like I do before a show. What's up, Dimitri? Always good to see you, my man. I love you guys. I love you guys. Thank you all for being here. I get that great feeling right before doing these now. And starting on Wednesday, this coming Wednesday night, 7:30, I'm going to have monitor engineer extraordinaire, sound man engineer extraordinaire, and fantastic drummer and good friend of mine, Michael Galoon, on the stream. And we're going to talk about specifically his time with Steve Vai, but also his time with Greg Allman, how being a musician kind of led him in the path that it did, or how the path that he chose to take still had to do with music, but didn't have to be like that. Oh, are we having a sound sync issue? Yeah, I'm not surprised. Not surprised one bit. That's been happening lately. Hopefully things will clear up a little bit. So far, maybe so good. I'll try to just keep it to one or two video sources at any different point, because I think once I get too many things going on the video thing, it starts to make all of YouTube slow down for me. So let me just throw a couple of highs up there. Gail, it's good to see you. Hello there. Hey, Michael Kerr. And there's Pops. That's Pops. Juliet, hi. I'm glad you guys are here too. What's up, Byron? Dimitri, you're the man. And yeah, probably wouldn't be surprised. So let me know if it clears up in a minute or two before I really start doing anything, before I dig in too deep here. And I could always offset a little bit more somewhere in OBS possibly to try to delay it all, but the internet doesn't love when I do this, it seems like. Hopefully, though, when we have this Wednesday night chat with Mike Loon, it'll be a little more low key. I won't be actually streaming from YouTube while I stream onto YouTube. I also do like just using my own jam tracks for this. But here on Monday nights, I like to look at jam track channels. If you're watching for the first time, welcome. If you're watching on the replay, please leave a comment down below. And if you're here now, I appreciate all the comments you guys have been leaving. So hopefully the sounds will kind of catch up a little bit here. Let me know if it's my face that is too early or if it's my voice that's too early, if anybody has any input. But yeah, like I said, Wednesday nights I'm going to be starting a new stream, a new live stream. So I'll still be doing this. I may have to, just depending on my work schedule, may have to kind of alternate weeks. But for right now, I'm going to try to do every Wednesday and continue to keep doing every Monday because I really just enjoy doing all this stuff. So, and I like hanging with you guys. It's fun to play music. I always get messages after that somebody's sitting at home, just jamming along with their guitar, and that makes me feel real good because I really like having people hang out with me and do this kind of stuff. So, hopefully things are going to be okay here. And I can kick over and we can try some jam. And I found a guy named Neblo. I believe that is how you pronounce his name. And I figured what a better way to start off tonight's stream, being that it's David Bowie's birthday, than this guy's space rock ballad. And we can kind of break it down a little bit if you guys want, or I can just jam. We can do one or the other, or a little bit of both. You know me, I love talking, and I love it when you guys leave a comment. And when Mike's on, and when the next few guests are on, please, it's going to be a question and answer kind of thing. I'll have a few questions lined up, but my real goal is to try to get you guys to ask away at these people. What's up, Boomer? And speaking of the live stream, Loop of Boom, my man, guitar tech, monitor engineer, front of house engineer extraordinaire, Loop of Boom will be on the week after next. So this Wednesday, Mike Loon. The following Wednesday, we'll have Loop of Boom. And then after that, I have a good couple of people lined up. I'm talking to Skitchy from PRS, and she is Paul's right-hand man, and he's going to join us. I believe he is the week after, and plenty of other people. I'm really excited at the response from the people that I've reached out to for my Wednesday night stream that's coming up. So really excited to have you guys there. Oh, good, you're just messing around with StreamYard. Yep, there you go. Powered by StreamYard. Can I do my whole left and right thing? I have no idea. Hey, look at that. Powered by StreamYard. So that's you're not sick, huh? See, that's the good thing about the virtual stuff. We'll be able to hang and party and keep it away. That's like this. There's a virtual concert. Boomer, I was just saying, I get that jittery feeling right before, just like before we would go on and play. I get that kind of antsy vibe right before these streams. It's a lot of fun. I really like hanging with you guys and playing. I so much miss the interactivity. So I'd like to talk a little bit tonight. A lot of the tracks that I picked out are kind of in the same key, or at least have a certain thing going on that's in either an A or an E kind of a thing. We're going to be looking at, like I said, Nick Neblo and his space rock ballad. Let's see. What I like about his is in his comments. I don't think I can see him here, but in his comments, he leaves a nice, some nice chord some scale suggestions. So you don't have to quite figure it out on your own. But I like to look at a progression and figure it out. So the first thing here, verse, looks like it's going, for 4 bars. So we got an A minor, and then we have a major chord, a whole step down. So that's going to be G6. And then you hear, now we're on this F major 7. So right off the bat, okay, what I hear there, hit this. So what I hear there is I hear a 6, a 5, and a 4. In let's say we're in, so if A is the 6, which would be the relative minor to C major. Let me get to my nice Larry Carlton clean sound. I probably could use a little quick tuning up too from my early jamming. So what I see there is 3 chords from a particular key, but they're not necessarily using that key tonic. So if you're looking at the C major and that's your 1, and then you walk down to the relative minor, you walk down a minor third from that C to the A, then you're looking at starting on the 6 of that particular progression. And then after that, so you got an A, you got an A minor kind of a thing going on here. I mean, I still can't get used to the, quite used to the volume controls on this thing. They're backwards to me. But you got an A minor, so that's your 6, and then you go to the 5 of C, and then you go to the 4 of C. So, like if you were here in C, and then you go up to the 4, there's your F, and then you go up 2 more frets to the 5. Well, this is kind of like doing that, but working your way down using the 6, the relative minor. So that's like a replacement chord. So anytime you see a C, you can kind of hint at A minor. You know, C major, hint at A minor. And that's the common theme among modal progressions. When you start to see that happening, when you start to feel that happening under your fingers, then that really can guide you where you want to go. So really, I like to think in Lydian, or at least I like to find the Lydian and the Mixolydian spots so that I can kind of bring those out when they're ready. And so the Lydian is going to come up over that F. That would be the 4 in C, even though we don't play the C. It's hard to see that progression there, isn't it? But yeah, A minor, I guess when it's playing, you can see it. But yeah, I think I can kind of talk through and at least play the triads here while I'm going. So there's that A minor. So, and now the chorus here is going back to the F, and then you got 2 chords per bar here now happening. F, G, and then A minor. And then that holds that for another one. Then the A. This guy does a good job with his tracks. And he lets you download them or use them on a stream. You don't have to buy them. If you want to stream with them, he does like, for you to leave a reference. So yeah, then after that whole part where we're looking at the 6, the 5, and the 4 of playing in C, and then we go up to the other 2 minor chords of C. So it's like you're playing in C major, if you want to think of it that way. I like to think of, when I'm playing in C major, I like to think of F Lydian or even G Mixolydian, just to have some, like I was saying, some different shapes under my fingers. Those major shapes, Well, so in C, we're not really playing that, but we're going to be definitely working these out. And then that minor shape of A minor, and then the minor shape of D, is that what we have in there? A D minor, yep. And then he does like an E sus. I bet that he does an E major, resolving to a major, then shifting up the key for just a second. And that's part of the focus of all of the tracks that I have kind of picked out for tonight. Is that's a point where you get to use harmonic minor. You get to shift out of this A minor, and specifically in this case, we're looking at Aeolian, not Dorian, because we have the minor 6, we have the F, you see it in the progression, that's the 6, and so I guess I should go over to the guitar here, right? Yeah, and then you can see that. So that's the 6th of that progression, and from A here, if we're looking at minor, A, B, C, D, E, and then F. Your D and your E are those 4 and the 5, and then F. So that's relative to calling our A the new 1, that 1, and that has given us that A Modalian feel in the key of A minor. So, and that all is just like playing C major. It's just like playing F, Lydian. It's all your starting points. And so then he goes for just a minute there, and he kicks out of that A minor, and he gives you this E sus4 that adds that A, and then he releases that sus, that suspended feeling, back down to the major third, which all of a sudden is a G sharp. We've been hitting a G in all of this progression, and now we're hitting a G sharp, and it gives you a chance to use A harmonic minor. And here, that's different by one note. So if you're thinking pentatonically, well, let's break it down by triads first. So root, A minor, is going to give us a minor third there. We're going to have on the low E string that 8th fret. So root, third, perfect fifth is going to be 7th fret there. And then we can repeat that. Let's do it here on the D string. So from there you got 7, 5, 9 between the D and the G. And you can even do it right here. 10, 8, 12 between the B and E. So that gives you a nice 2-octave plus range of notes to work with that are all triad based around that, and are going to be pretty safe whenever you're playing the A. And, they're going to feel okay against some of the other chords as well. There's going to be notes that once the chords change, you're not going to want to hang on those. But that's where then you get to the G mixolydian. But we're going to look at it really from this A minor shape. So now we have the triad. Now we're going to add, as we start to add to the triads, the next step up is 2 notes. Adding 2 notes, we get the pentatonic. So we have, to add to that, we have, so we're going to add the 5th fret on the A and D string. And then we can do that everywhere up here now. Oh. So see how I'm connecting the two? Oh, somebody, no. So I want to make sure nobody needed me for work or something. So yeah, so there's our adding triads. And then we add, then we add the 4th and the 7th, minor 7th. And now if we want to add the 2nd and that minor 6 into place, they're going to fall here. So on the 7th fret of the E and the 8th fret of the A, we're now adding, we now have 7 notes and then the octave again. Shift when you get to the B string. And then, like I said, when we hit that E sus4, kind of all of a sudden shifts up a little, and we have that G major. So now instead of going, we want to just change that scale. And you hear that has that. And then anywhere you do that, you're going to want to now, instead of go a whole step between the F and the G, or between that minor 6 and that minor 7th, you're going to want to go a minor 3rd. And then, so that's a whole different feel. And you don't want to do that for the whole progression. You want to save that. Like that's the I don't know, that's the money. That's the money notes. Those are the notes that are going to bring out just a little bit of flavor right there when that progression kind of changes. And all of these that I picked kind of try to do that. They move from that minor feel to that harmonic minor feel, and it gives that snake charmery kind of a thing. And it just gives a real nice, unique flavor, I think, to it. So there's only another couple minutes left in this track. I'll keep it clean here and just kind of I'll try to talk through it as best as I can, at least from an approach standpoint of it, and go from there. So there's that. So where are we here? So we're back at the beginning. So G6, see, instead of having the 5 in there, He had that in there. And then F major 7, D minor. I like to look where the thirds are. So 8th and 7th there between those strings, and then same here, and then see how that F and that D minor, they share that. When you start to really look at the relative thirds of each one of those in different positions, you can start to see where things are changed, and where moving from one chord to another, you can stay in a certain vibe. So, and that's the whole thing about this. You can kind of sit within a certain vibe and accent the A structure over certain ones, accent the G notes over other ones, bring out the second of any of those chords, you know. Make sure you know which of the 6 you're gonna land on. You're gonna have a major 6th on your G and your F, and then a minor 6th on your A. And that's part of the whole modal playing. So you're taking a modal chord progression, you're taking chords that already have a set mode that they're based around and applying those scales to it. And then this guy does a really nice job of making it interesting. So now we're in the chorus there. We're at that last F, G to A. Sounds like he does it again. Right now I'm just outlining the thirds of each. And then playing fifths, you know. So right here when you get to the F, like you can think Lydian, then you can think Mixolydian for the G. And then let's see if this last time through, if there's any kind of that shift. F, D minor. Did you hear that? That G sharp there right at the end really comes out of key for a second and resolves so nicely half step up, you know? And that's the kind of thing, if when you find that you want to be able to try to milk your whatever track you're working on, those are the notes you want to milk at those moments. And that's what I like to use jam tracks for. And that's why I like this Pocket GT, because it helps me to just kind of pick some and just do all sorts of fun stuff like that. eBay's always trying to sell me something. Good grief. So here's something similar. So here's a this one's straight up harmonic Spanish guitar. So this is exotic. So here's a real interesting one. Very similar. You can see totally different kind of a feel, but with an acoustic kind of a thing. So you can pretty much do real similar stuff and have a whole different kind of a sound. Like here, I could get like a real washed out delay sound kind of a thing. Bring out that sharp 4 when you get to that F, you know, then there's a D. See, there it is right there. He did the same thing in this one right at that last bit of the minor progression. He throws in that harmonic minor mode. So I just want to show you that that's pretty cool. Same kind of a feel, different kind of a sound. This is much more of a acousticy, strummy kind of a thing, and the other one had that spacey rock kind of a thing. So I like both those tracks, but I'm not going to dwell on that too much. Here's some. This one was really cool. I remember this kind of a vibe. Now, this is strictly modal, if I remember. I don't think there's anything here that shifts out of key. So we're looking at E minor. We're looking at E minor there, C major, A minor, and then that D. So once again, you got two major chords a whole step away from each other. And that to me shows that it's not that major chord, that first major chord, that C there, shows that that's not really the key. That first of those two is your Lydian reference. Because if you were in C major, and we think of the way we harmonize C. Let's clean that up even more. We harmonize C, we got a C major, and then the next chord has to be a D minor because it has an F in it. We don't want an F sharp because C has no sharps or flats. So that means C Ionian creates D minor as the chord next to it. So if you look and you see C major and then you see D major, that means G major. And you hear that G major brings you home the way that it does. And once again, if that progression doesn't really play that, then you get to modally go around and play within that key, but you get to pick your modes relative to that key. So that those give you those starting points. And so if you have watched that one video that I have about the reinterpreting a lesson from the 80s or 90s, I guess it was the 90s, that John Finn had a lesson about the modal phone number and how like there's those major and those minor shapes and they spell that phone number. And depending on where you start from in a 3-note per string pattern, you're just coming into different parts of the phone number. It's 1473625. It's just a number that sat in my head forever, mainly because the first 10 years that I had heard it, I didn't understand it. And then one day it kind of clicked, and it was like, oh, Ionian is the 1, and the 4 is also major, so it has the same shape. 2 whole steps, and the 4 has 2 whole steps. And then the 5 is a major, so... And then when you go to the 6, you're going to get the same kind of a thing. You're going to get a minor shape. So they're the starting points. That modal phone number digits are those starting points, that 3-note per string shape. Well, hello, Paige. She's such a good little girl, isn't she? Good girl, Paige. Go get that thing. Such a good kid. So yeah, then you have your 6, and then your 2, and then your 3 here, which is still minor, but that Phrygian has a flatted second. So, and you're going to keep within key, by changing that note. But it lets you know you got your 1, 4, 5 there. So I'm sorry, if we're here in G, that example is G. So the C to the D means G. And then the relative minor would be E. So everything I said, but then an E. But you see what I'm saying? I really like this vibe too. And it's totally different than anything I would write, which is why I love doing these jam tracks. Hey, you guys, leave me a comment if the sync is doing all right and stuff like that. I'm just talking. I see you guys are here, so that means you're listening. Hopefully you guys have some guitars on and you're jamming along with me. I like this kind of a thing. I think he does, yes. So right here, then he changes it up. Instead of 1 chord for 2 bars, he goes to 1 chord for 1 bar. 3, 4, 3, 4. So then does it again. And then so I think the next time's through, he slows it down, so it's each one of these. Outline the C, and that C is the minor third of A. So there you got you're spelling it, and then you got the D. So that D, you get mixolydian, you can get bluesy there. You can always kind of minor major your way through the mixolydian, if you do it right. And that quick minor to major thing is always a good way to do that. I'll show you when we get to the D here. See if I can do it. See, there was a quick, and then so the chords go by quicker. So, if you want to think a particular minor A when you get there, that would then be Dorian, because you got the D, a D major there, giving you that F sharp. So that all kind of can be like the E and the C and the A. You can kind of start to really mess around with stuff. Audio sounds good, just a little video lag on your end. So yeah, I'm looks like I'm hopefully keeping the stream to just one or two sources, video sources, has helped out, because one of my other options is, as I kind of keep doing this stuff, and like I have in the title here, I want to talk about how we can kind of do these kind of loops. I have a looper at my feet, and we can run through that. I think I did that last stream or 2 streams ago. I kind of had a little bit of a loop going on, but this is how you can do it. If we want to make just a 2-chord loop, we can pick a key, and then we can pick 2 chords from that key. And heck, why don't we do that right now? Why don't we just kind of, I'm going to turn this off, and I'll get myself over here to here we go. Just that one for right now. So if I wanted to pick some chords with you guys, I know I'm not going to sit here and make you people type, because if you have guitars on or you're just kind of watching this and listening, I'm not going to force you to go over and be interactive. But on Wednesday night, I need you guys to type. I need you to say hi to Mike, and then next week, Boomer. Oh, hit my guitars with her toy. So yeah, it's real easy to start getting into loops. So I have my looper set up to do like pretty much I have to hear a sync as well. So if I start it, I have to hear something going, or it'll be completely off. So like I can take one of my things from my circuit here. Let's see, if I go to the wide room, you can see here on my circuit, here in my hand, I have this thing's called a circuit, and it's basically a drum machine. It's what I use to kind of mess around with audio and sounds and get some rhythms going. And this thing I downloaded some different patches and got some different things going on, but I love making grooves with this thing. It's just a lot of fun. But one of the first things you can do is strip all this stuff away, so I can just get this drum loop going. And it's simple. And now I can just have something like that going. So if I have a rhythm thing going, which a lot of guys, when they're not, like if I wasn't using all the MIDI stuff to keep everything locked in, you could just hit your loop pedal start on the one, and then hit your loop pedal stop on the one, and it'll start playing. I keep mine synced up, so it needs certain input, and then that means I need to hear it. So I'm going to bring this, let's see, we're going to make a four bar loop, and we'll do 2 chords. And let's see, I'm going to do, what should we do? We've been doing A and we've been doing E. So let's do something in D major. Let's pick D major, and then I'm going to go, but I want to be minor. So I want to go to, okay. Oh, I do E Dorian all the dang time. So if I do D major, that gives me D major is going to give me E Dorian. But if I do D major and then go down to the B, that's going to give me B Aeolian. So there's B minor pentatonic. If I made it Aeolian. So we got that B minor. And then the next thing up, let's see, if we're in B minor, and then I want to kind of get like a little bit of a like an A kind of a majory thing, that would be then A mixolydian, or I could do like B to G Lydian. So let's see what I get here. I'll just start off with a little bit of like a bass thing. Oh man, I think I actually just I just accidentally looped. I think I'm looping the circuit. Oh, yep. I think I'm actually writing the rhythm track into there. Huh. Okay. Bad Dave. So let's see. This is what we'll do. Well, I'm gonna have to do that, and then I can just turn it down. So let's see. That would be the same thing as kind of just going. Let's see here. So there's my B. Okay, yes, I'm not recording the circuit. So I can now bring that hi-hat in and keep me in time. So if I think of that B as being Aeolian, you can see why I would want to think that, because that G is in there, and then there's that G. And then that's going to lend to G Mixolydian. You know, so that's going to give me two chords from D major. D major is going to have D major, E minor, F sharp minor, and then it's going to have G major and A major. And then we're also going to hit that B minor. And then we're going to hit C sharp. What is that? A flatted. It's going to have a flatted fifth in it because you got to have that G in there. And then it's going to resolve to there. But we're not going to go there. We're just going to mess around with G major. So now I got two chords to mess with, and I can mess around in a particular key there, you know? And I can kind of get comfortable with the chords and play those triads in different places, get real comfortable with my cage shapes. There's B minor there, that would be a D minor cage shape. Then you got a G major here, and B minor there, B minor here, G. So see, outlining. And during all of that, I can think to myself, F Lydian as well, you know, because that G Mixolydian, what do we got here? Oh, I'm sorry, no, G, I'd be thinking what, G Lydian. Because if you got B as the 6, then A is your 5, and G is going to be your. So at any point, I can play like a G Lydian run that I might particularly like. And then when the B comes around, so how do I know that G? Because of the B, if that's our relative minor, and that's the 6 to the D, and then we go 5 and then 4, and then how am I going to bring that out? I'm going to use that raised fourth I always talk about for the Lydian. So that's going to have that major shape for the shape of G. And you get that whole 2 whole step thing, but then we're going to raise that fourth. And so that's essentially the 1, 4, 7 part of the phone number. 4, 7, and then next is going to be 3, and that's your Phrygian. 6, shift for the B, 2, 5. So 5 is major. So at any point during that, I can mess around in B minor or B pentatonic, and then I can in the G. So instead of I bring out that sharp 4. And altering just one note within a scale is a lot easier in my mind than sitting down and trying to relearn a whole bunch of scales and relearn a whole bunch of things and make them apply to this and make them apply to that. If you're working on jam tracks like that guy has, where he's saying you're going to use this and then for a minute you can use that, this really helps kind of do that. You get to that harmonic minor thing and you're all of a sudden thinking to yourself, there's one note I got to change just for that 1 second, So... And there goes that pick. So like... G major. So now I can... Loop down now that it's getting lofty. And you see, when you're playing in B minor, that major second against the B becomes the raised 4th. There it is, serving the B as a second, and then against the G, it's acting as the raised 4th. So it really sounds sweet and somber at the same time, So it's almost always safe over any of those. So there it is again, just a whole new position. Woo, whoops. So that's, whoops, nope, can't hit the wrong buttons. Got to use my feet now. So yeah, that's how I, recommend people start with looping. Get a rhythm. Get an idea of what tempo you like. What's this going to be? What's that one going to be? Write your stuff down if you don't have digital stuff like I do where I can save it and back it up. Or if you're like what these guys are doing or you have a recording program, make sure you make notes within the program on the tracks and stuff like that just to make sure you got... I got a message that maybe I lost... maybe I've lost stream. I don't know. I don't know. Am I not there? Hopefully I still am. Anyway, maybe I should wrap for the night just in case I have lost some stuff, or in case I have gotten cut off. So, if that's the case, and I'm getting messages, if somebody let me know if you are actually here and chatting with me right now, let me know if you can, if you are seeing me. I just got a message from somebody saying, "Hey, what happened?" So maybe I'm dead. Maybe I've been dead for a while. But anyways, Double D here. Hopefully things are still live. And hopefully you caught my lesson on looping. Still live, Dave. Oh, great. Thanks, Steve. Yeah, all right. Thanks, man. Yeah, I got a message here on my watch. My phone is over in the other room. So, all right, cool. Awesome. Yeah, so here's something that I did a while ago that's pretty much modally based, and I came up with melodies for it and all that kind of stuff. And it's just taking that approach, taking a couple of chords and a couple of things, and then evolve it. There's another chord now that I've added. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for letting me know. Was a little nervous there. So this is something. This is something I have on my channel. It's called surfing straight or steering straight into snowstorms. Thanks, guys. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up, but I'm really looking forward to Wednesday nights. So please, if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you're watching on the replay and you made it all the way to here, awesome. Thank you. All you guys here hanging out with me, I really appreciate you guys being here. These Monday nights are awesome. I'm not going to stop these hangs. This is like my general kind of get it out. This is my pre-show vibe kind of a thing. Wednesday nights, though, please, guys, it's going to really be a lot of fun. These next at least 2 months are going to be really fun on Wednesday nights. We're going to sit and we're going to hang with some pretty smart people that have done some pretty cool stuff, and they're going to have some pretty wild stories to tell, and they probably won't be allowed to tell half of them. So they'll probably have to check themselves, but we'll still make it as impromptu and off the cuff as possible, while still making the point of lifting up all the audio engineers that are really suffering through this, this stuff this past year. And hopefully it ends soon. Hopefully we all get to rocking out, because I miss that feeling, and that's why I am enjoying this. I get to get that feeling. I get to hang out with you guys, get to play music, interact with you all, and the audio engineers get that same kind of feeling, but in a different way. The guitar techs, they get that same kind of a feeling, but in a different way. Even the wardrobe people, even the catering people. Like when you're on one of those tours, it's intense, and what these guys do as family for the band, they are additional members to the bands. Especially some of these lifelong techs. Their lives changed. A lot of our lives have changed, but what you have to understand is an industry has shut down. And these people mean the world to me, and this industry means the world to me, and that's why I really want to bring them, a moment. Even if it's just to chat with me and to hang out with you guys and take some questions. I am a lucky, blessed person to know some really smart, amazing people, and some great people that are even in the chat here. And I just can't wait for you guys to hang out and get to know them. And I really enjoyed hanging out and getting to know you guys. And hopefully tonight was good, not too bad as far as the stream lagginess goes. I know when I hit YouTube and I start trying to upload from it and download from it, it gets a little bit tough. But I'm going to go ahead and say peace out. And I'm sure there's football on, probably football just starting. So you guys go dig on it. Thank you all very much for coming and hanging out. I really, really love you guys. I'm really looking forward to Wednesday. Be here on Wednesday.
Be here on Wednesday for the stream with the smart people. Ha ha. And if you know one of those smart people, or you are one of those smart people, and you want to come on the show and hang out with me and talk about the things you know and the things you've done and the people you've talked to, you one of those engineers and you know how to reach me, hit me up with a message, y'all, all right? Wednesday nights, we're going to lift up some engineers, we're going to lift up some techs, we're going to put the light on them. Love you all.